Good evening and welcome to 60 Minutes. Now is an exciting time of the year for thousands of young Australians who've taken the leap from high school to university. And for many of the students, there's the added adventure of moving out of home and into on-campus residential colleges. But as we expose tonight, there's a sinister underbelly to many of these residences, a seedy culture of degrading initiation rituals. The hazing, as it's called, is often dismissed as university tradition or harmless fun. But for the many victims who've been subjected to humiliating bullying and sexual assaults, it's anything but. And what's even worse, the administrators of these colleges, those people responsible for looking after the students, are actually looking the other way. A young man commits suicide. A young woman is raped. Another is traumatised by a week-long ordeal of shocking and degrading initiation rites.
Some of them are completely broken. Some of them drop out of their degrees. Some of them self-harm, and as we've heard, some of them will suicide.
Tonight, we go behind the closed doors of Australia's most prestigious residential colleges and confront those who want to keep their secret rituals hidden from the public eye. Did you specifically say to her, I have seen naked men, I was forced to watch pornography and people simulating sex?
Yes.
Aria Kerwin is 18, a bright young Melbourne teenager with her eyes on the prize of life. After high school, she had multiple university offers, allowing her to choose her university and her degree very carefully. It would be Adelaide Uni, and a degree in law and biomedical science.
In which students are accepted as mature.
And she and her parents chose her residential college with equal care. It would be St Mark's, expensive and prestigious. So you felt very comfortable heading off to university, that you were going to a safe place?
Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't have been further from the reality, could it?
Exactly. It was just a completely different world to what was presented to me and what I expected.
St Mark's claims to support the well-being of each student to enjoy a healthy and happy college experience. Aria's parents, Leanne and Craig, were sold, and 3 weeks ago, they moved her in.
And at the parents' evening, they were talking about it being a nurturing and comfortable environment for the kids to settle in. Away from mum and dad. We thought this feels like a really good place for her to be.
Was there any mention of initiation rituals?
Absolutely not.
No, none at all.
No.
Hazing, bizarre initiation rituals inflicted on first-year arrivals. Most university residential colleges deny their existence. But as you'll see, behind the walls of some of Australia's most prestigious colleges is a toxic culture of drinking, degradation, sexual intimidation and assault.
I'd offer anyone who thinks that hazing is fun the opportunity to read through my email inbox. Explain to me how it's fun for these girls who are too scared to leave their room, or to be on the phone at 4 o'clock in the morning with the girl who's been hazed and is so traumatised by it that she's cutting herself and she doesn't know if she can stop. That's not fun.
Shana Bremner is co-author of The Red Zone, a damning new report on hazing in university residential colleges across the country. If you look at the list of universities where hazing rituals take place, the University of Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Queensland, WA, New South Wales, Newcastle, ANU in Canberra, Macquarie, James Cook and UNE.
Yep.
What's that tell you?
It tells me that it's not a coincidence. It's a huge problem. It's nationwide and it's been going on for decades and it's still going on today.
For Aria Kerwin, the first sign that there was a dark side to St Mark's was the evening of February 17, only her third night in the college. Drunken, older students went on a rampage through the building.
They were like blasting like megaphone sirens and banging on our doors, telling us to like get the fuck up. And we were told that we were fuck ups. We didn't deserve to be at St. Mark's, and they were all drinking, jeering at us, yelling at us for what was about to happen.
Aria and nearly 100 first years, freshers as they're called, were jammed into St. Mark's tiny pond with older students abusing them.
Put your fucking head under, like you're not doing it properly, like put your head under.
The following morning, the freshers were forced to perform a variety of humiliating acts.
I was made to eat a watermelon after like 4 or 5 other people had already spat into it. We had to crawl through mud, do army drills.
So hang on, so you had to eat a watermelon that other people had deliberately spat on?
Yes. Yeah, it was disgusting. And, you know, I thought about saying no, but the girl was like yelling at me saying like, eat the fucking watermelon.
According to the university, no one is forced to take part. You can opt out at any time.
Not at all. And we were never told that it was optional. It was presented to us as being something that everybody has to be doing.
Did anyone refuse to take part?
There was one boy, he did vomit the night before, but then the next morning he had refused to get up and do running or something of that nature. He was made to wear a dead fish around his neck.
They call it tradition, but tradition isn't torture. These practices, these traditions, they do break kids and they stop them from getting an education, and they need to stop.
For Craig and Leanne, Aria's first phone calls home were disturbing.
When Aria started telling us what had happened, to say we were appalled would be an understatement. We were absolutely disgusted. Our idea of A Week was the kids getting on a bus and seeing what Adelaide was like.
But what was about to happen to Aria on day 4 of her ordeal at St. Mark's went to the very heart of the toxic college culture of hazing. Sexual intimidation. Again, with drunken older students commanding the action, the young arrivals were taken on a sex tour of the college.
There were people pretending to have sex on the table, dancing around in underwear, and they had porn playing on the TV, and guys that were butt naked, walking around.
So naked men?
Naked men.
Naked men, you had people simulating sex acts?
Yeah.
Watching hardcore porn or?
Hardcore porn, yeah.
How'd that affect you?
It made me upset that that was the environment that they were portraying. It just was completely just a contrast of what I thought college was like, and just pointed out a really dark culture that I wasn't okay with.
Coming up, the secret video of St. Mark's bizarre sex tour. You were forced to take your top off.
Mm-hmm.
And we confront the college master. That's next on 60 Minutes.